Welcome. I am Sue Landay from Trainer's Warehouse, and this is Show and Share. And today we are talking about breaks, all different sorts of breaks, ergonomic breaks, bio breaks, and visual breaks. And Nora, who's been a frequent visitor at our Show and Share sessions, is going to be helping me out, as well as my colleague, Sarah Metcalf. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. As promised in our teasers, I want to show and share a little bit of the brain science behind taking breaks, why they're so important, and then talk about some of the different resources that are available to you. So here we go. All right, we're going to ask you guys, I'm going to share my screen. Whoops, there we go. All right. So when, why, and how, and you guys can all see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 6 kind of brain rules. These are the brain science rules that we typically apply to presenting content in our training. So my question for you though is, and I'd love you to write your answers in chat, which of these brain science principles do you think also suggest that breaks could be beneficial, that we need to take a break from, delivering our content and presenting and go back, take a break, take a pause. And you can indicate in the chat which one, just by kind of either the movement, talking, images, the keyword.
Movement, talking, all of them. Movement, talking, writing, movement, everybody. All skate.
Yeah. Shorter, yep.
Shorter just got a couple of votes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, big picture is they're not just for delivering the content, they make sense for how we take our breaks and how we structure our sessions also. We're going to do a couple of true false questions just to kind of prime the pump for learning. And as then we get further into the session, we'll talk about some of the answers. So true or false, the hippocampus, which is the short-term memory center, has unlimited capacity.
Oh, they put it in chat? Okay. False. These people are on to you, Sue.
Okay. Let's move on. The next one, true or false? The middle of your session is more memorable than intros and endings.
False. You haven't tricked anybody.
Okay, you're going to move through this really quickly. Okay, which answer is false? Breaks are most effective when they are A, off topic, when they get us moving around, occur at regular intervals, challenge our mind and creativity, or cross the left and right sides of the body. Which of these answers is incorrect? We're seeing some themes here too. Should have had you guys answer this without looking at one another's answers. Okay. Anybody else want to answer? All right, this one has, I think, the most variation. Okay, so we're going to definitely spend a little bit more time on this. Let's keep moving. Because there's one more true false, and then we're gonna move on. If we sit for more than 20 minutes, blood pools in our seat and our feet. What do we got here?
True.
Okay. Oh, we got some themes here. So moving along, you guys were correct about the hippocampus. So our short-term memory center, it has a limited capacity. So we need to take breaks. We need to jot down some notes. We need to process. We need to offload what's in there. And interestingly, It's at night when we sleep where things move from the short-term memory center into long-term memory. It's the Zeigarnik effect that suggests, which is the reason or the explanation, I guess I should say, of why intros and endings, the first and the last, are more memorable than the middles. And it was Bluma Zeigarnik who did these studies, and she was studying people from waiters and waitresses who and how they remembered orders and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different from what we see in the classroom, but I think that the message is the same. Like, you remember the beginnings and the endings, we deliver them with impact, and, the stuff in the middle gets kind of garbled. So by taking breaks, we're able to kind of maximize the numbers of beginnings and endings and make that part of our training. So there are lots of different ways to take breaks, and we're going to talk about a few of these. So we can break, like change and shift things around, or we can take a break, we can stop and pause and hit the brakes and slow down. So I want to get back to this answer also. So when are breaks most effective? And it's good when they're off topic, when they get us moving around. So like if we go back to those 6 brain principles of keeping things short and moving our bodies around, that's all really positive. Having challenging your mind and your creativity and really shifting what you're asking your mind to do is also a really effective break and for your brain. The one that's false is occurring at regular intervals. So breaks don't have to happen like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes. And as we'll come back to in a little bit, part of the importance is, keeping an eye on your group and on what you're asking of them, and taking breaks at moments when they feel important and when your group needs a shift. I want to just look a little bit more deeply at that idea of crossing the right and left sides of the body, because this is an interesting one to me. So this is another let's get you guys thinking. Midline crossing activities which of these, I want to ask, is incorrect? Okay. Is it that they create more neural pathways? They strengthen the bridge between right and left brain hemispheres. They improve your cognitive function. They make you hungry, or they increase memory, attention, and creativity. Again, you guys got it. This is sort of silly, I know, but it does get you thinking about the content, which is what we want to do when we're presenting new concepts. So yes, they do create new neural pathways and strengthen the bridge between right and left hemispheres. They do not make you hungry, but they're good. So cross-body exercises may be like moving to the right and the left, picking something up, writing something, tossing a ball, stretching and moving your arms in different, across your body, all of that, walking, all of that is really good. So, yep, doesn't make you hungry. All right, I am going to take a beat here, and I'd like to have you guys break into little breakout sessions. I'm gonna coordinate this. I think I haven't done this a ton before. So we're gonna break into 3 groups. So there's gonna be the bio break, the brain break, and the ergo break. So 3 different kinds of breaks. Bio break, just to kind of, and we'll dig into this a little bit more deeply momentarily, and I'm going to have Nora give us another sort of take on how this all works. But I'd like in your groups for you to think about the benefits of a bio break, the benefits of a 2 to 3 minute brain break, and the benefits of ergonomic breaks, of physical movement. So talk about the benefits in your groups. When you come back, I'm going to have you write in the chat some of the highlights of the benefits that you see to these 3 different types of breaks, and then we'll come back and talk about how to make it fun. So, all right, I'm going to stop my share, bio, brain, and ergo. And can you give me thumbs up that we're like, oh, we get this? All right, so let's do breakouts. Thank you for that feedback. You know, when I'm screen sharing, I can't always see all of your faces and names and get that feedback. So I appreciate it. So, okay, 3 breakout rooms. Assign automatically. Should we let Nora, should we let people choose their rooms or just do it automatically?
Oh, that'll be dangerous.
Okay, so
No, a random, get random.
we'll do random. Okay, so room 1 is going to be bio break. Room 2, and maybe Sarah Nora, you can put this in chat. Room 2 is brain. What was the second one? Brain, right?
Brain. Brain is number 2.
Brain is number 2, and room 3 is ergo.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm opening, and we're going to take 5 minutes, 3 minutes to do this. Okay. You guys.
I'm not sure which one it's going to record, but
Hi, folks.
Hi.
Unmute, 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 unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
Brain breaks, benefits, anybody, what you got?
Right now, nothing. No, I'm kidding.
So I'll go. I
on.
think particularly if we're talking about being in a group setting and kind of being on a particular task or discussion topic, taking a brain break can give people a little bit of space or almost not quite a distraction, but take them away from whatever the main purpose is for a few minutes and lets them come back refreshed to the conversation. It's also a benefit for introverts who maybe take a little bit longer to come to their conclusions or want to share their thoughts. So it gives a little bit of space as well.
I'd like to clarify that I think there's 2 kinds of brain breaks. One is what Cami was just talking about, which is off topic, totally changed the dynamic. But I like brain breaks that give you a different way of processing the content, because I think that also gives the brain a break and you're still on content. I can only go, I don't know about you, I got way too much material. I can't go off on what's your favorite color. I really want my brain breaks to be people processing differently. If I have a long period over time, more days, then those Cami was careful not to call it a distraction, but those off-topic ones that are just amusing and build community and are interesting. So keep both of those in mind for brain breaks, I think.
I think it's a time for reflection too. It's like the time to digest, like, okay, what did I just learn? And what can I reflect on it? And just, okay. Again, what Cami said, like a breather. Okay, got all this in. I can just take it in, see what I've learned, and being refreshed, going to the next section is like, I'm good to go.
Time to park it somewhere in the brain. We're all searching for, what do I already know about that? Does that make sense? Does that resonate with me? And we have to give people an opportunity to do that sort of reflection and recall and connecting what we're teaching them to what meaning that they understand already.
I think brain
Agreed.
breaks also can give an opportunity, just have fun, maybe do something a little bit silly or laugh or
Huh?
maybe do something mathematic, and that
Mhm.
can help us with retention as well.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Nothing
that's a
wrong with
good-
fun. Fun can,
Mhm.
training can be fun. Sandrine, were you gonna speak up? You got green for a minute.
No. I'm good.
Okay, fine. Bridget,
Just one more item. I work with college students, and one of the brain breaks that I encourage them to take is a moment of mindfulness. And
Yes.
that is perhaps with what they are working on in the moment is stressing them out or creating some anxiety for them. They're feeling some anxiety, and to give them that moment to step back, breathe, be present, and then come back more mindfully to a challenging task.
Oh, that's so compassionate. That's great.
That's even better in your day, right? To have a
Yeah.
brain
Absolutely.
break, right? That we all
Absolutely.
need that type of mindfulness too. So it just doesn't apply to just training, a topic, but just for all of us to have that. Good point, Cami. Mindfulness.
Anybody else? The way we process language. Oh, let's see. She's bringing us back.
We have a couple seconds though. What were you going to say, Nora?
It's language. Keep going.
Yep. Go, go, go.
Now I forget.
Oh no.
You said that language.
Oh, processing language, listening, viewing, speaking, talking, moving, the way we process language. And that for me is the most impactful shift in a brain break is if they've been listening to me, they need to do some talking. If they've been talking, they need to do some reading. So that's what it provides a shift in the mind's state, what they're thinking, the way they're processing language. That's neurolinguistic programming.
Agreed.
That comes from there.
We got some great benefits of having a
All right.
brain
Be
break.
ready to post them in chat. She wants us to line it up.
How do I do this?
Everybody. So if we can take a couple of minutes to just have everyone write in the chat one or two of their top takeaways, the notes, either on the benefits or different ideas that you shared with one another, we'll have a record that everybody can benefit from. So let's just take a minute or two to do that now. I like it, Ricky. Excellent.
Got mindfulness, refresh mental clarity.
Mm-hmm.
The ergo helps people keep getting stiff.
Yep.
Recalibrate the team and yourself. That's a good one. Reduces eye fatigue.
Excellent. There's a lot of wisdom in this group right here. So Nora, I'm going to call on you. You've done a lot of these breaks. I know we've talked a lot about both training people in the importance of breaks and giving them some tools and resources. You have a few slides that you can share on how you've introduced this. Can you share that with the group?
Will do. Will do. Happy to do that. And I've posted them in chat as well. Are you seeing my screen, my share?
Yep, all good.
All right. Now, this particular slide you're seeing is the one that I use when I'm also training virtually. So besides the three, I also, when I'm training virtually, include the fourth one as well. And these slides are available to you in chat if you choose to use them and download them. What I find is important is to help the learners know in advance what kind of break it's going to be. For so long, we've had just the 15 minutes every 90 minutes. They think that they leave the room when there's a break and that they don't get a break until they can leave the room. And this is why Sue's interested in this topic, and the neuroscience is reflecting the importance of this topic, is there's different kinds of breaks. When in the brain group number 2, we talked about 2 different kinds of brain breaks. One kind is that distraction, something fun, something off topic, complete different way to be thinking of things. And then it's also the brain break of another way to process the very same information so they stay on content. It could go either way of that, but the brain needs a moment to take a breather, to take a relax. The body needs to get out of the room and use the facilities, check email. The bodies, Rob put earlier, old bodies need to stay flexible, right? The ergonomic break is crucial, and visual breaks if they're online and they're looking at the screen for a long time. So what I do is early on in training is I show this slide deck that you're going to see right now, and that way they know in advance when they see this slide come up what kind of break we're going to be taking. So I can show them the benefits and the why and why we do it. So I do that very briefly, but basically I outline the left-hand column, 15 minutes versus 2 minutes versus 1 to 2 minutes versus 5 to 10 seconds every 20 to 30 minutes. And then I tell them, when you see this one, this is the one where you actually leave the room and go take a break and do all those things you usually do on a break. When you see this one, what that means is stay with me, but think of processing the information in a different way. Think about, if you've been listening to me, now you're going to do some talking. If you've been watching a screen, now you can do some stopping and reflecting, maybe some writing. So it's the way that they're processing the information that provides a brain break. So I do these mind shifts really, really often throughout the course, stopping and letting people reflect, recall, do some reading, do some talking, do some writing. When they see this slide, they know that they're to move. They're to move, to stand up, to move around. I model it. I show them you can stand up. If you want to stand up, you can stand up and move your body. I usually do this. I show lots of clips, short clips, 2-minute, 3-minute clips of experts talking about reinforcing the point that I've been making in the content. And I don't want them taking notes. I want them watching the screen, but they can do it from a standing position. They can do it from moving, and it provides a great relief. I get big positive feedback on this, of giving people just a moment to circulate oxygen, circulate blood, give the lower back a break. And then virtually
Nora, just to interrupt 1 second, and I
Yeah.
heard in one of the sessions that I just, the breakout rooms, that there's other folks who just, and I think you mentioned this also, to stand up and allow people, welcome them to stand up during a presentation, that they don't necessarily even have to wait for an ergo break, but to say, if you need to stand up, go for it.
Yes. And sometimes what I say is turn off your camera if you must, if you don't want us to see you, or just step to the side so that you're not in view of the camera. But we know you're still there and in the room. We can see your arm move. We can see that you're with us still, but you're still giving your body a break. I've seen people go on to courses on their treadmill. They're on a walking treadmill while they're watching and participating in the class. And although I've had folks think that's a bit distracting, I think that's very impressive that people are getting their steps in while they're learning information. So thanks, Sue, for that. The other one, and if you train virtually, the eye strain is a big curse. So giving people a chance to give some love, self-care love to their eyes. looking away from the screen for 20 seconds, 10 seconds, close their eyes if they're comfortable doing so, but at least looking 20 feet away, not at the screen and not at the letters. So that's my deck that I share with people. Am I
Thank
back?
you. Thanks.
Yeah, and you're welcome to use it.
Awesome. So, I wanted to kind of go back, share a couple of other things with you. Here's another version of some, you guys talked about the benefits and some of the tools to make it fun and to actually do it. And I'm not going to talk through this slide, but I will make it available to you. I like to think about breaks beginning with the letter P. And if we weren't short on time, I'd have you guys do this. But here are a bunch that kind of come to mind for me: ponder, play, pair, making it physical, to pull people, to breathe, pranayama, punchlines, telling jokes, or bringing up a joke slide, changing.
I didn't need it.
We talked about.
Yeah, I usually don't
I
eat
think
before
we
I
need
talk. I
to
eat.
mute Lamar. There we go. So there are some other resources. Every 20 minutes is a collection. That's the image that you see here on the left, of different exercises as a PowerPoint. This is the thumb ball. That's an energy break thumb ball. And so this has things on it like mimic walking on a tightrope, share your favorite touchdown dance, rotate your arms in large circles. So this is kind of a way that you can sort of, use the ball to bring up a random, just a random activity. And they bring into kind of shifting gears mentally, doing something physical, cross-body activities, and so on. You could have, have everyone catch the ball, come up with get a different prompt, and then on the count of 3, everybody be doing different motions. And you could have people guess what the prompt was that someone else received. You could have someone say, okay, pretend to run up a flight of stairs, and everybody do it at the same time. So lots of different ways to use, the prompts on that thumb ball. And I also put here the brain building blueprints, which Angela Agresto has put together, because within this, there are a lot of different activities that get people up and moving around and give people those ergonomic and brain breaks, even while they're processing and doing these other things that Nora kind of took us through earlier. So lots of different resources there. This is part of that every 20 minutes. So make a paper airplane, do a brain teaser, make a clap pattern and pass that around, a crossover stretch, tongue twisters, puzzlers. All of these are kind of in that realm of, just taking a mental break.
Are you going to demonstrate the hand jive for us?
Oh, Nora. So Nora said to me, what was this, a month or 2 ago? She's like, I found this hand jive break, and I was wondering why you looked familiar. And now I know. So, okay, so we're not going to do this one. Hold on. Here we go. So, hi, I'm going to teach you the hand jive. It's made up of simple steps.
What year is this, Sue?
First one is hitting your hands to your thighs. What year is this? Second, you're gonna 20. Stand up and we'll try 20 what? 2012 maybe? Yeah.
I use this
All right.
as a demonstration of how to do a demonstration, because you walk it through, you do each step, you have us do each step. It's an excellent clip for how to do a demo, but also it's very funny when you figure out when people figure out what's really going on. Some of the oldie but moldies in the room start to go, wait a minute, this feels a lot like the hand jive. So it's pretty funny.
And so then it goes on. So you can have people like you teaching them to do it, and then you can play the song. Okay, I'm going to do it for you guys.
All right, here we go. Make it play.
He got a cool little chick named Roxy in
Oh,
the
wait.
bed. He can walk and stroll and still the room. And do that.
I'm all messed up. See, I didn't practice first.
Thank you for that demo. That's fun.
And Nora's also put together another video that's sort of in like the just empowerment, take a mental break, and this is a lovely one also. This is 2 minutes. I'm not going to play it out right now because we're right at time, and I want to stop my share and let you guys just like ask questions or find out. I'm sorry we haven't been as interactive beyond the texting today. But what can I tell you?
Well,
Thoughts?
look at Brandon's breaks. That's really cool. Use the latrine, get some caffeine, not nicotine. Check the answering machine, read a magazine. He's got some great breaks. That's clever.
Ooh. 2 thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. Other ideas, things that you didn't see, questions that you have about how to implement, how to do this, something that you were hoping to hear or learn about today that we may not have covered yet.
Did you mention the koosh? I'm a big koosh fan.
What do you do with the koosh, Nora?
The same thing. They move, they toss, they say names, they say answers to questions, they interact with each other. The same thing, but it's up, it's action, it's moving, it's interacting, and it has to be underhand. You have to remind them to go underhand. It isn't hardball, it's up and over. But I love koosh. I have great fun with koosh. It's a good reinforcement. Just reinforce and reinforce and reinforce.
Great.
Well, here's a good one. Janice says, make people get up and change tables at least once during long sessions and use chat packs to get people talking and meeting each other so they don't have to struggle with questions. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what I'll do, I can kind of put together some of these ideas that we've talked about here, as well as the recommendations that you all added and contributed from your conversations and breakouts. What other questions do we have, or experiences, good or bad, that you can share with the rest of the folks here? For a bunch of trainers, you're very quiet.
Say some more.
I was
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I jumped on late, so I'm not sure if one of the things I like to do during breaks, whether virtual or on in person, is using music. I think we all know music kind of calms people. One of the things I like to do is I'll do an activity because of now when you have people with a lot of different generations, is I'll cultivate a playlist of instrumentals from many decades, and I'll do this thing called Through the Decades, where what they have to do, and I tell them you can't use your phone or use Shazam, but what you have to do is try to guess the decade that the music is from. And even more so, if you can not only guess the decade, but guess the name of the song and or the artist, and that kind of gets people jazzed up because if they know the words, they can pick the song real easy. But when they were listening to the instrumental, it's kind of like, oh, I think that's the 80s, or I think that was the 2000s. So that's one I find gets a lot of energy going during breaks.
Oh, love that. Love that. And probably with different ages of people in the classroom, you've got different people knowing different sets of music.
Exactly.
It's a game like that. I don't remember the name of it, but
name that song.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Thank
Brandon,
you.
I like to use music for diversity, playing from different kinds of ethnic preferences. So
Mm-hmm.
people are tasting different ethnicities and the beat and the rhythm and talking about the commonalities between them. It's another way to get people talking about diversity.
Nice.
Yes, Hitster, that's the name of it. Thanks, Nina. Brandon, thank you. What else? What else are you guys doing that you like, or something that you've tried? Something you're not too sure about? Look at, we still have 30 people on. You guys are all professionals. What are some of your favorites? Don't be shy. Feel free to just unmute or raise your hand.
Jennifer's wondering, is there a training for trainers to attend?
Is there?
Say more, Jennifer. What are you asking?
Please.
Hi, good morning. This is Jennifer. I was asking because I have two individuals that are trainers, are starting out as trainers. So I just wanted to see if there's any training out there that can help them and support them, excuse me, in doing presentations and how to conduct themselves as trainers.
Great question. I think there are a lot of different resources. So these show and shares are one, they're like small kind of meant to be lunch and learn on a specific topic. I think that there are a lot of folks within our community, both who I've had on as guests, who also do train the trainer. Nora's shaking her head. She is one of them. Katrina Kennedy is another we've had on recently. She does a lot. Your local ATDs do a lot. Cindy Huggett does a lot. So, we can, and I would say, folks who are on right now, if you do train the trainer, put your name in chat. But as I said, there are lots of folks and lots of resources. We can probably do a better job of getting you a list of those if we know where you are and specifically what you're looking for.
Bob Pike is also being mentioned.
Yeah, Bob Pike, Becky Pluth does a ton of Train the Trainer.
They do free. Training Magazine does free trainings, 1 hour webinars really often, and they're free. And they're just a little snippet of, they had Britt on the other day. Aren't you going to have Britt on next week or in a couple of weeks? Yeah.
Andriada.
Yeah, she did a beautiful one on emotional intelligence. So there's lots of things like that that are free online. And Bob Pike's organization does free online 1 hour webinars all the time. And not only is it good content, it's marvelous modeling of how to deliver an engaging, interactive virtual training. They're masters at it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for that information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Typing a few others in here as well.
Yeah, maybe you can capture those and put them into some sort of little package of Skill Path. That's another one. Yeah, I used to do Skill Path all the time. That's a really good one.
Brandon, it looks like that may be something you do as well.
Oh yeah, Skill Path.
I typically do it internally for my organization, but I have no problem doing it externally as well.
Yeah, so I think, Jennifer, there's like the root of like these small bites.
Yes.
Or having somebody in and really do a train the trainer session for you. So, and Angela Agresto does that. She might be a good person to reach out to. And I can get you, if you want to email me, Susan@trainerswarehouse.com, I can set you up with people aside from all of these resources if you're looking for someone to come into your organization.
Okay. Susan.trainers at
Trainerswarehouse.com.
Trainerswarehouse.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just put it in chat.
Okay. And that was one of the reasons why I registered for your lunch and learns, because we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and how we can just improve. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Yeah. Excellent.
Thank you.
Any other questions or suggestions? See you, Rob. Any requests? So actually, this is another thing that at the end of one of our prior sessions, we had so many like really expert trainers on that someone said, gosh, it would be really cool if someone wanted to do an Ask the Experts and come, kind of coordinate with me in advance and say, Sue, I'd like to present this challenge my organization is having. And we bring people together and you've just got like a bunch of experts on the line that you can say, oh, this is what I'm struggling with, and get feedback from people. So I haven't had any takers yet, but if there's something you'd like to workshop and use this community for, I think it would be a great opportunity.
I used to add a stump the chump hour at the end of.
Oh, stump the
Great.
chump. Love
I'm the
it.
chump. I claim to be the chump. And because I've been training for 50 years, I've come through some challenges. And so I have a pass at how I would handle it. And then I throw it out to the group and have other people come up with how they would handle it as well, because everyone has a different style. So stump the chump's a good idea, Sue. I think you should mobilize that.
Love it.
I have a thought, if you don't mind my sharing.
Yeah, please.
Okay. I have a training. I train folks, educators, administrators in restorative justice work.
Oh, bless your heart.
Mm.
And I think what I'm running into is like folks know about it and they want to be at the end line, they want to be experts and they expect that a 3-hour training will provide them the expertise. And so I have this, my role, I think, is to sort of prepare them, sort of disturb the soil so that they can be more ready for the content of what it would take and require of them in terms of shifting their mindsets, etc. But I'm trying to figure out how to balance that while also giving them skills and tools that they do feel are practical and can be used. I don't know if I'm expressing this in the appropriate way, but I guess how do you let people down, but also give them something while, I don't know.
It sounds like you're trying to do like a 3-day training in 3 hours.
Right. That's what it's feeling like. And I would like to figure out a way to manage their expectations and provide them with something useful, no matter the time limitations.
I wonder if and I'm just brainstorming. I don't have an answer. I'm not necessarily, and I'm not an expert in this, so I'm just kind of thinking it through with you. But I wonder if first of all, you say just that, and if you can set up, kind of sessions like this where every few weeks you bite out another chunk of the apple and say, okay, we're not done here. Let's together come up with a plan for how we can get together to address, this next module, this other skill that we think could be useful for all of you, and maybe together come up with an ongoing plan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this?
Sandrine has just announced the elephant in the room. There's always an elephant in the room. And that's the elephant in the room is some people up at this level say you have to have these 15 objectives in this 3-hour course that you used to be able to give for 3 days. So it's really, I think you're right on cue, Sue, to say, look, put it down to the chunk that you're going to do today. Which objective are you going to work on today, as opposed to the whole menu list, the shopping list of things that they want everyone to know and be able to do. It's an impossible task. And it's really, I think, incumbent upon trainers to speak up and say, I know this is what you'd like to have happen. The reality of how brains work is that's not going to happen. So it has to be a piece at a time, a piece at a time, a time to process, a time to practice. For me, the big key is give them something to do, give them some practice, give them an experience or an opportunity to try something on for size, because that's what will stick with them, not your information.
Right, right.
And it may also be that, Catherine, one sec, I'll come back to you. It may be that one of the objectives is to let them know what the full range of skills is that they're going to be working towards. That may be one of those kind of key takeaways. Catherine, what were you gonna say?
Two things. One is I find that when I talk about the way we build a house, the house has got to have a foundation. And if that foundation is not solid, the house won't, doesn't matter what we put, how many boards we put on it, it won't stand. So if your first session or first piece is the foundation, sometimes I teach a lot of leadership. So I have mindset, which is a whole section, and then skill set, and then a tool set. So mindset, skill set, tool set kind of helps them understand where we are. So you might have a big chunk of mindset, which is that foundation, and then maybe you say, I'm going to give you 2 tools out of 30, but I'm going to give you the 2 that I feel will be most important or most actionable right now. And the other thought I have is maybe you have a level 1, and then there are subsequent level 2s and level 3s. So I have a level 1 in some of the things that I teach, meaning it's just the foundational pieces. It's just the basics. And then we build on the basics, adding the complexity of real life in for them. And so that may be something that is helpful in setting expectations that this course is level 1. These are some raw basics, and then we'll build from there. So just some thoughts about because I have a big topic, the same thing, and I'm often asked to speak for an hour on something we take a year to teach. And so I have to recontextualize it a little bit to say, so I still do mindset, skill set, tool set, but it's very narrow, and just kind of a peek at, what are the most fundamental things.
That's great.
Thank you, Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brendan.
And I find myself in similar situations sometimes too, Sandrine, where I primarily focus on training, like utilizing certain software, and there may be modules that take like 4 to 8 hours to truly learn, and then people say, hey, you have a half an hour to do this. So one of the things that works for me is I'll actually craft in the full session. This is what you're going to walk out learning. These are the objectives, and then I'll get in front, or at least present to the decision maker or stakeholder to say, look, and the full session should take this long, and this is what they would get. Now you're only offering me this chunk of time. So of these, what they would learn in a full session, what's most important to you? Okay, because sometimes I used to would say, well, this seems like it's most important, and then it turns out they want something different in that shorter condensed time. So I present it to the decision maker or stakeholder and say, you're not going to get these 30 things because I just can't do that effectively in 30 minutes. But if you were going to get 30 things in an 8-hour session, what 2 or 3 would be most important to you in a half-hour session? And then I'm able to focus on that. And it also plants that seed that, oh, well, if we really want the true gamut of what we really need, maybe we do need to make time for that full 8-hour session. And it puts the onus back on them to realize the importance of, if you really want to get to what you truly need, you need to own and take accountability for allocating more time.
Brandon, amen. I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm talking about. Stand up. Professionals need to stand up and say, I know you'd love to have us do it all in 20 seconds, but that's not what's going to occur here. Or the levels of learning. Do you want us to awareness level? Do you want it to feedback level? Do you want it to skill level? Or do you want skills acquisition? Those are 4 levels of learning, and it's a very different way to go about it. And Sue, I can post the levels of learning, offer it to you and have you posted in chat if people want to know those 4 levels of learning. But
Please
Brandon,
do, Nora. That was gold.
Yeah, you
know,
gold.
yeah, yeah, would you type them in for us?
no, but I will.
Oh.
No, because I'm too interested in this conversation. But what I will do is send them to you, and you can add them to this recording and so forth.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
And yes, I'm looking at Deborah, your note also about what is the organization willing to do? Right? What are the resources that they can allocate? And I think, like Brandon said, it's a conversation.
I just want to say thank you so much. This is wonderful. Those 4 things sounded amazing, and would love to hear that again, Nora. But
okay. Let me just say, do you know Explain It Daily? Does anyone watch Explain It Daily? You can get it free online. And explain it like I'm a 5-year-old. Explain it like I'm a college student. Explain it with Legos. In other words, application level. What does it look like when it's all put together? And then explain it to me like I'm an expert. That would be that skills acquisition level. If they want skills acquisition, it takes practice. It takes practice and reflection and feedback, and then a do-over and a do-over and a do-over if they really want people to master a skill.
Yep. I should have mentioned I did an intro training and they're asking me to come back. And so this is the pressure of like, oh, I think I need to step it up, but they're still babies and they don't know it, I guess. So how do I make that? Yeah. But this was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that question for us to chat about. What else? All right. Give it another second in case anyone wants to unmute themselves.
Okay, I just spelled it out in chat, but I'll send you the document, Sue, that has examples and you can add it to the file.
That would be great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all. It seems like we don't have anything else on our agenda for today. But please, if you have other questions, do bring them to this community and jot them down or send them to me. But let me just say again, huge thanks to all of you. I hope this was helpful, both about breaks and other things training. Nora, thank you for your contributions and input and kind of co-facilitation here. Always a pleasure to work with you. Have a great day, everyone.